So there's just one more piece of the puzzle, the fifth principle, because without it, it ties everything together, all the four that I've talked about. You have to put this one in, because it's about moving into action, the M in the word dream. You have to move into action. Wishing and hoping are not effective strategies, not by themselves at least. It's one thing to think about your dream, but it's another to actually act upon your thoughts. Bring it to you and bring you to it. There's a book called The Attractor Factor. It's written by Dr. Joe Vitale. And when I read that book, have you ever read something or somebody said something to you and it just rang a bell so clear to you? It was like a light bulb flash in your mind and suddenly something clicked for you? That's what happened when I read the book, and it was really one short sentence that did it for me. The sentence said, when your limousine pulls up, get in. That meant everything to me. Because Dr. Joe Vitale, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's like this mega successful multi-millionaire now. He was in the movie The Secret. And he was talking about how he was in this limousine at one point in his life. And he's with all these successful people and going off to this big fancy schmancy event. But he was getting emotional. And because he was thinking back and asking himself, how did I get in this limousine? How did I even get here? Because before he had all the wealth and money and fame, he was once living on the streets of Texas, homeless. And he was contemplating suicide. He was so depressed about his life. And the thing he said that when his limousine pulled up, he didn't overthink it. He just got in. And I thought that is so symbolic. That limousine is so symbolic of the opportunities that present themselves in our lives. How many times does an opportunity come up, but yet we're so busy overthinking it, overanalyzing, thinking that won't work. Let me think about that. I'll get back to you. Or maybe now's not the right time, and we don't act on the opportunity. When that limousine starts coming around the corner for you, and it's pulling down your street, and you're standing on the corner, and it parks itself in front of you, and it opens up the door to you, don't stand there and look around to see if anyone else is going to get in. Don't wait and step aside and say, you know what, that's probably not for me, or let me think about this, because if you do, it's going to drive away. The opportunity, if you don't act on the opportunities that show up, what you're saying to yourself subconsciously is, I don't want this dream. And life has a funny way of letting those opportunities go to the next person. So you've got to move into action. When your limousine pulls up, don't overanalyze it, don't overthink it, get in. Your heart will know. Because if you listen to your heart, it will always lead you where you want to go. The problem is that we get so busy in letting our minds talk us out of what our heart tells us to do. So move into action. So that's your 5 principles. Define your dream. Remove the obstacles. Expect more from yourself. Have absolute clarity on what it is that you want and why, and move into action. Those 5 principles are the key. They're not hard to do. They take a little bit of work. But if you've got a dream and you apply these principles, there's no reason that you can't start working on building and living that dream. If you're not working on building and living your dream, then you're working on building and living somebody else's dream. And your life is too important and too short to waste it building someone else's dream. Most importantly, remember the power of a positive attitude. Positive attitude makes you feel good. When you feel good, you smile more, you laugh more, and when you do that, you attract positive people and events into your life. You have more inner strength, more energy, and a greater capacity to deal with the challenges and adversities that life brings your way. And most importantly, when you do that, it spreads from there. Because when somebody who's dealing with similar challenges, look around your room at the similarities. You guys are all going through the same thing. And if I look at someone like Sue, if I'm suffering from the things that Sue's suffering from, and I see that she's got a positive outlook and she's overcoming those challenges, I start to believe if she can do it, so can I. It's the same for all of us. So those are the 5 key principles. And a positive outlook, and smiles and laughter, because they are contagious. So in the end here, I'm going to close, but I just want to thank you for allowing me to sit here and to share this message with you. It means everything to me, and I hope that you got as much from it as I did being able to present it to you. And the last thing I want to say is that always remember that no matter what your challenges are, don't allow your fears, your circumstances, or anybody else's beliefs and opinions to define what you can or cannot do. If you've got a dream, you've got a vision for your life. If you've got that and you can dream it, meaning you can define your dream, remove the obstacles, expect more from yourself, be absolutely clear, and move into action, you can dream it. And if you can dream it, you can do it. Thank you so much.